So my partner and I saw The Meg this past weekend, and I actually cared for it. I actually thought it wasn't as bad as my preconceived thoughts about it. It was actually pretty decent, and I just want to share some things that I personally liked about it. So for one, I loved Li Bingbing. I think she is this gorgeous, cute, adorable Asian woman, and I was just smitten with her the entire time. So that was a plus casting her, and I think she really did a good job just playing her role, especially in the moments in which her dad died, or spending moments with her daughter, or just interacting with the main character. I forgot his name, but yes. Two, I liked Rainn Wilson and his part. I know he wasn't really like the main character, and he also didn't spend a whole lot of time in the movie compared to like the other characters, but he still did a really good job in the role that he was given. And plus, I've only really seen him in The Office with his like stoic Dwight expression, so it was so different and such a surprise in the beginning of the movie when I saw him smiling. I was like, yo, wow, where'd that come from? The main character also did a pretty good job. I don't know what his name is in real life, and I forgot his character's name, but I really enjoyed him. There were quite a few good actors in general in this movie, and I thought it was just a fun ride, pretty much. I thought how, like, the whole scenery of having, like, this treacherous, aquatic, dastardly villain type shark thing as, like, the evil force in the movie was pretty well done, because I thought it was going to be some kind of Jaws ripoff, but it turned out to kind of borrow influences from Jaws, obviously, but turn it into something that is a really enjoyable ride for everybody. So, I'm not gonna give too many spoilers, but or something like that. But yeah, it's really fun. I just also just really enjoyed the scenario. I enjoyed their base thing that they had up outside of China, some parts away from the Chinese mainland. I really like the use of technology they use to kind of just explore the oceans and everything. And yeah, I just really enjoyed like the whole, I don't know, the creativity aspect of it, taking Jaws pretty much and making it something their own. And I really felt like the main characters just did a good job holding their own. They didn't feel like cookie cutter stereotype actors, but they actually kind of made their roles their own, and I appreciate it. Even the daughter that was supposed to be Li Bingbing's child in the movie, she was delightfully weird and just mysterious and so off, but I really just appreciated her, and she was just a weird, adorable little bundle of Asian joy. And that's the kind of daughter I'd want. I also really appreciated how, towards the latter end of the movie, when they're trying to officially like kill the shark and things like that, the scene kind of changes to some Asian spot. I don't know which city it was, but you just get this whole scene with all these Asian beachgoers just having fun, having a good time, and it pans to a short scene with a mother and her really chubby looking boy who's annoying her to go out into the ocean, and she's like, fine, just don't go too far. But it was just so awesome for that brief moment to kind of just, I don't know, just see a scene that isn't so Western centric and actually see different cultures and people. And it was just so neato to see this in this movie, because I've seen a lot of movies that have like similar shots of people that go out into the ocean or something like that, and not to make it about race, but they're typically all white or all American, but it was just so neato to kind of just hear people speaking their language and stuff like that. So I thought that was really cool. And I thought it was also really cool how Li Bingbing and her movie father and her movie daughter all spoke Chinese, or at least I think it was Chinese. So yeah, that was really neato. Overall, yeah, I just really enjoyed the creativity aspect of the movie. I like how they tried to just make the movie their own. So for stuff I didn't like, one of the biggest things I did not like was towards the latter half of the movie, the black guy that was in Blue Mountain State seemed to grow progressively more annoying as the movie went on. Of all the things, I think that is my primary thing that just started to annoy me. And I felt upset because he's the only black guy in the character. Not in the character. He's the only black guy in the movie. He's not the only minority in the movie. We have, like, I think a Japanese guy named Toshi. I think he was Japanese, hopefully. Maybe. We have Li Bingbing. We have her play daughter. We have her play father, who are all Oriental Asian. We have, I think the guy's name is Mac. He looks like he may be of Indian descent, but still Asian. But yeah, all the other characters are either or something, probably American. But yeah, he wasn't the only minority, but he was the only black guy, and I was just really disappointed at how the only black guy kind of seemed to kind of just play the part of the stereotypical black guy. And no. That didn't sit well with me. Kind of like how, towards the latter end of the movie, I was hoping that he would be eaten next. So, I just felt like they could have done a better job of his character. Like, even though he is a minor character, they could have made him less annoying. At one point, Rainn Wilson does get eaten by the shark, and I kind of wish those two would have been swapped, because Rainn Wilson, even though he was kind of like the sneaky-ish billionaire guy that was funding their whole project to explore the ocean floor, and they run into the shark as a result, I really just enjoyed him as a character more for the short time he was in the movie compared to the black guy, what's his face. So, I felt like they could have done a lot better job. I kind of felt like the main character's ex-wife also was just there. The main character's ex-wife was in a crew with other friends, people in the submarine, and they're going to explore the Mariana Trench. I think it was the Mariana Trench. Yeah, the Mariana Trench. They're going to explore the Mariana Trench, and they get stuck there because Jaws pretty much attacks them and damages their sub, so they're kind of just stuck there. And eventually, the main character goes down there after being convinced and kind of just like helps him up, things like that. Although one of the other characters gets killed. His name was Toshi, and I actually liked him. So, yeah. Afterwards, after the ex-wife has kind of like gotten onto the ship and kind of treated for her screwdriver impalement injury, we don't really see too much of her until towards the latter end of the movie. And during that time, I just felt like I forgot about her as a character. I was kind of like, she's kind of just there, kind of serving the purpose as an ex-wife. Unless the Meg has some kind of sequel that I was not aware of, I don't quite know what her purpose was, other than maybe motivation for the main character to just go down to the Mariana Trench and kind of give like sea excavation another try. Like, she kind of disappears. She's on the ship, a whole big scenes happen, and then we don't see her later until she's on her hospital bed playing cards with Li Bingbing's daughter. So, yeah, she doesn't really serve much of a purpose other than kind of being there as motivation for the main character to go out, but once he's out in the ocean again, which is what the other crew people wanted him to do since he had retired after a really bad accident kind of killed his friends, since Jaws kind of killed his other friends when he went out. I kind of just feel like, what was her real purpose? In addition to that, although there were plenty of characters that I felt like were actually decent, and how there are plenty of actors in there that actually fulfilled their role pretty well, like Ruby Rose as this character named Jax, and she has like this gelled hair, and she's like one of the scientist engineer people. Yeah. But even though the actors played their roles well and the characters were kind of fleshed out, except for the black guys, which I could not stand, it kind of felt like at times I I wasn't as connected to them. They played their roles well, but some of them not well enough for me to actually completely care. Kind of like Toshi's white friend. I'm, I wish I knew his name because I'm forgetful, but his other guy friend that was in the submarine with him, along with the main character's ex-wife. Like, I kind of wish that his death would have been more, I guess, heart-wrenching, because when he was just swallowed, he was just swallowed. I didn't really think twice about it. But when Li Bingbing's father kind of died, there was like some kind of connection built up in a way. But at the same time, it still wasn't all that great because he's kind of like telling her in his death, as he's dying, like, "Oh, you were such a brave daughter. Like, you were so much better than me. I always believed in you." However, I felt like the movie could have done better establishing their connection a little bit more, but also establishing our connection with him more too. Same thing with Li Bingbing's daughter. I appreciate her as a character, but kind of just there. And at times she is there for like comic relief-ish moments, which isn't bad, but we need a character to tug on our heartstrings when they die. So I think maybe the main character is the only real character that I actually would feel something if he were to, I don't know, be killed or swallowed. I know that'd be the end of the story, but pretty much, yeah, since he's kind of the more fleshed out characters and things like that. Since we have like a kind of a backstory from him, but when it comes to everybody else, once we are introduced to everybody on like this island station off the coast of China, I felt like not everybody's fleshed out as well as they could be. The relationships aren't as strong as they could be, and there's not like a lot of rapport between us and the characters as much as it could be. So yeah, otherwise I really kind of enjoyed it. It's an interesting ride. It's not as terrible as I thought it was gonna be. It's not like a complete knockoff like thought it was gonna be, like Jaws or anything, but it was really groovy. I encourage people to see it if they're just looking for a fun ride for like an hour and a half or something. But yeah, cool beans.